Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Joel. I'm now a 4th semester nurse student at Imperial Valley College, and for today's video, it's going to be my learning developmental process from 1st to 4th semester. Now, I'm going to specialize a little bit more on the learning of how I would do my notes, how I started my notes in nursing school from 1st semester, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I would really recommend you to put this video in 125, 150, or even double speed, because there's going to be like a lot of background information that of my mentality, my views, and then how I started changing. That if you just hearing this type of tone, this type of speed, is gonna take you forever. It's probably gonna be like 20-25 minutes long. So as you can see here from the length of the video, so I definitely recommend for you to speed up the video right now and yeah, go through it. So let's get started. Now first I'm gonna share my screen right now to my iPad in order for you to see how I'll be taking notes before and then after. So, and then you can see like how it started developing from 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So this is how I use my iPad. So now I'm sharing my screen, and this is how I did it barely starting 1st semester. I will get the objectives of the chapter and then write everything that went down with that objective. Now technically in that aspect, and a lot of friends would do that sometimes, it would take more time because sometimes even though, yeah, like you're covering the objectives, it took longer for me to write every single thing than just reading on it. And by the way, this was the time when I was like just reading the textbook and nothing else. So yeah, I really try to, answer all the objectives through doing like a mind map in a sense and go from there. But honestly, like it was a lot of draining, and then studying this, it was really, really hard. So as you can see, like I'm writing like a lot of notes, a lot of notes. Some of them are shorter, some of them are longer. And this was pretty much me during the first like 3 or 4 weeks of nursing school. Now, throughout those weeks, my first exam grade was probably like an 82%. And then the second one was a 77%, so I barely failed it. The third one was horrible. I got like a 55 out of 100. That was terrible. Yeah, like that was, I remember my instructor telling me like, wait, dude, like what's going on? So yeah, I stopped doing this type of studying technique in a sense because it was like a lot of time consuming reading the chapter and skimming through the objectives and stuff, and then reviewing that, and then still having to deal with pharmacology. So it was like a lot of things to try and juggle, and it really wasn't working. So then I kind of like moved into the aspect of, where was it? Kind of like putting everything into one. So for instance, if I go kind of like towards the end of 1st semester, this is where like I kind of like grasp it, because after the 1st semester, no, I think it'll be this one. Yeah. After the 1st month, I then started just like watching YouTube videos, like I said, Simple Nursing, Registered Nurse RN, and doing the quizzes that came into the Simple Nursing and Registered RN. And then I just started like browsing a little bit on the chapter, but not actually read it, just kind of like skim over it, because I already learned the big majority of it throughout the videos. And I didn't just watch 2 videos, I probably watched like 5 or 6 videos, and each were like 15 to 20 minutes long. I try to increase the speed of the video in order to not waste a lot of time. But yeah, that's how I was pretty much doing. And then at the end, I was doing practice questions. Now you might be saying like, okay, so from where would you get the practice questions? Now we would also use CoursePoint. Now you're gonna see here my screen still. In this CoursePoint, this is for 4th semester, so I don't know if I have my 1st semester fundamentals book here, but let's just go for this one. So let's just say I'm going over cardiology. Okay, so here, the chapters that you see here is literally what my textbook chapter is. Same order, same pages. This is an electronic book that we had to pay, like we weren't like given a chance to choose or not. So we had to buy this type of like program, and you have here the ebook, and you also have the chapters of your textbook. And here we're going over cardiology. We have a lot of chapters. We can go from chapter 25 all the way to chapter, well, I guess to 30, I guess. So 25 to 30. So I guess let's just say that we're gonna start with chapter 25. Here we have NCLEX type of questions, style questions. So this can teach you or give you the taste of what your exam might feel like once you're taking it. But I don't know why it's not loading. There we go. Okay, so here you would put the number of questions that you want. So if you want to go small because you're barely starting, go with 10 questions. And then put review mode so you can get like the feedback immediately. You put quiz me, and then now you have here questions. Now obviously don't have the mentality that, oh, these questions might come in my exam, like exactly how it is, because no, and you're gonna be very, very, very disappointed in the aspect that you're never gonna see like a copy paste question there, but you will see a similar concept like that. Like if you're able to get this question and understand the concept of what this question is asking you and why the rationales of why B is right and A and C and D are wrong, then in the exam you might have something similar to that. But there's really nothing that you're gonna get by just memorizing the questions and the answers. Like it's really not gonna help you at all. You're literally just wasting time. So as long as you're able to understand the concept and grasp it, then you'll be fine. Now in my 4th semester, and also I don't think my 3rd semester was like this. No, yeah, so this was happening since 4th. So our instructor was very, very kind and gave us practice questions in order to, this happens like 2 days before the exam, in order for us to like test our knowledge and see where we might be struggling on that we might not be aware of. Because she knows the importance of practice questions, you know, she knows the importance of active recall, you know, retrieving the information from your brain and apply it. So she gave us here questions, and the answers are at the very, very end. So what we would normally do is do them as if it's like a normal exam, and then towards the end, just check the answers and then see if we were right or wrong. Now, the only downside about this is that we are not able to see the rationale, like why that question is right and then why the other questions are wrong. And that'll be more like the point, you know, this type of style that they, you know, if I just go for, I don't know, let's just go for, let's try and solve this one and see if we're right or wrong. Baseline, chest pain. What does this be? No, the pulses will not be it. Pulse rate. Description. Yeah. Hey, we got it. Yeah, because I was thinking like, well, chest pain, like they had to describe it because it's like a very specific type of pain. So I was like, blood pressure in the left arm, like that's really not going to do anything. And then the epical pulses is like, okay, so what? And then the pulse rate again, it's like, so I'm able to know why B, C, and D might be more off than A. So that's why like I was like, okay, it has to be A. But here you're going to be able to see the rationale. You know, why A is right, and then why B and C and D are wrong. So this is what we need as students in order to like really grasp the concept and understand it. And this is how I mainly went through nursing school, like 1st semester, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You know, doing a lot of course point. Course point is one, and then you can go with simple nursing, registered RN, and then they have more tools there, and you can just browse. You know, just put on Google like, oh, practice questions of cardiology nursing, you know, just put it broad like that, and or you can even put like the title of your book, and you're gonna have like more questions there, and just, you know, just wander off there and just be there for a couple of hours. That for me was like the most better way of learning stuff. And then towards the final, I would pretty much put everything I would know about the subject and then put it here. Now, whenever I would miss stuff, I would put it in red. So for instance, like the stages, I did not know the ages specifically, but I did know like the names and everything. So I would just put in in order for me to visualize, to see like, okay, you missed this, so learn this. So there's really no point of making your notes one color. Make your notes multicolored. The red for me is like, you don't know this, or like, you know, you need to look this up. So whenever I would put red here, it's like, you don't know this part. And if every other color is like, it's just me just putting it off for the first time. So this is how I'm able to see like how well I know. So it's kind of like I'm testing myself, but like putting everything visually in order for me to see like, okay, where am I lacking on, and go from there, and do more questions based on those things. So yeah, you know, that was pretty much it. I do think I did more than this, but I don't know where it is. Or maybe I was just like, wait, where did I end? Contract heart. Okay, I don't even remember this. But I do remember like at the final I got like an 85 from the final fundamentals. Yeah. So overall, and another great thing that you need to do is like you need to space out your studying. So if you know your exam is in 3 weeks, don't start the week before to learn the subject. You know, you really have to start at least doing like an hour per day on that specific subject. For me, in 4th semester, we do have like exams, we have case studies, we have group presentations, we have ATI exams. You know, we have like a lot of things, but our actual exam is like in 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm not gonna start learning the exam content in the week before. You know, I'm gonna try and space out everything and give more priority to the things that are due, you know, closely. So if my evidence-based thing or case study is closer to the deadline, I'm gonna dedicate probably an hour and a half to that, and then maybe just 30 minutes on like the exam that's gonna happen in 30 minutes, because we have time to space it out. Okay, now that we are done from first semester, let's jump to second. Now in second semester, it was more, where's second semester? Let me just share my screen. You should be able to see my screen. Wait. Now, okay, so let's just, damn, okay, we have a lot of stuff here. So then in second semester, this is how I started to go. Now here is where I started using my revision color technique of studying. Now this would be that I would just be writing a lot of questions after I skim the chapter. So I would see like the topics, and then I'll be like, okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. So I would literally just write the questions like you see here, like ambulation surgery. Why does it give nurses more work? What is the job of SCIP? Some of my questions were really stupid when I then came to the exam, because it was like, you know, I was really trying to, again, this was like at the beginning of second semester, right? But I was really trying to understand everything. I don't know why in second semester I was like, okay, like this is gonna be a different ball game because now it's pathophysiology. But for some reason, like my perioperative, well, this is preoperative, but I don't know what my way of thinking was, like I really want to know everything regarding surgery. I don't know why. So you're gonna hear like some of my questions are gonna be like, okay, like that doesn't matter, you know. But the concept is like I'm writing questions, and then after I'm done writing them, I would then try and answer them orally. So that was like my way of doing active recall. This was before doing like the course point, you know, NCLEX type of questions, and then Googling like practice questions on the chapter. But it was just me, like for me to have like a baseline. So whenever I would know something, I would put it in green, like as you see like the numbers and everything. If I wouldn't know something, I would put it in yellow. So then as you can see here, when I did AR, that stands for active recall. So I did it on the 20th, and then I did it on the 26th again. Oh no, okay, so here how I did it is like on the 20th, I got 26 green, 9 yellow, and 7 reds. And then on the 22, I went over it again, and then I got 2 reds, which is an improvement, 7 yellows, and 33 greens. And then on the 25th, I got all of them on screen. So that was like me to have like a visual of like how well I'm doing. And yeah, so as you can see, like everything's green here, because then I guess after the 25th, like I stopped doing stuff like that. And then when I would be doing the course point questions, I would, for questions that I really wouldn't know, that I was like, damn, like that's a really good fact to know for future references, whether it's for farm or for the future, I would put it here as a star. And that would mean like I got it from the course point, like that type of rationale. So a patient takes a benzo, raise the site rails to avoid dizziness and hypotension. Well, due to the dizziness and hypotension. Okay, yeah, makes sense. And then St. John's ward in surgery causes patients to wake up later with anesthesia. Okay, so it prolongs. I did not even know that. So maybe like most of these things, like I would have forgotten by now. But these were things that I would go over on my studying. You know, when I would be doing like questions here, then I would also remember these, because these are like facts I need to know. So the top ones are like concepts, and then the bottoms are like facts and concepts in a sense. So yeah, this is how it went down in second semester. But the main thing again were YouTube videos on all the chapters, Simple Nursing, nursern.com, Level Up, and yeah, just doing questions with course point, and which again, course point or the point is like these type of questions, and then just Googling questions there to see like more help. And that's what our tutors will tell us. you know, like, hey, like you need to do more practice questions, like just Google them, you know, just look them up and just go from there. But like put your mind into the mentality of the exam. So yeah, now in third semester, that's where it started to change dramatically, because I did this type of technique and it was horrible. You know, my first exam, well, this is hematology, but I don't remember. Nah, this is, where's my other hematology? Because I know like in the other hematology, I went hardcore. But I remember like something happened with my notability, then I was like, where is it? Cardiac, yeah. Okay, I guess we're gonna go with the cardiac one. But the hematology one, it was, oh, because I was using Anki. Okay, so Anki is a flashcard app, and I literally wrote everything there. But then I got an email saying like, oh, all your cards are gonna be discontinued because you haven't logged into Anki. Now the thing with Anki is that I love Anki in the concept sense, but I don't feel I used it properly. Now with Anki, it's a flashcard app. It was $25 and you can make questions, and then yeah, like a flashcard app, but then in the bottom it had like for you to rate it. So if it's like really bad, like you did not know it, it's gonna come back that flashcard in 5 minutes. If it was, you know, almost there, it's gonna come back in 20 minutes, and if you got it, it's gonna come back until the next day because you don't need to review that card. So if your studying was like 3 or 4 hours long and you were using the Anki app, you know, you could kind of like learn it from there. Go, okay, oh, I remember this question 5 minutes ago, I got it wrong, and I remember the answer was this because of X, Y, and Z. And you would just do that, you know, in different days. I tried that in third semester because I love the concept of active recall. You know, me putting the questions, putting the rationale, but the whole problem about that is that it would take me like a day and a half to do all of that, and some of the rationales were like complex rationales. So I did that in first semester, my third semester for the first exam of hematology, and it was horrible because the exam, I thought it was gonna be more like, oh, memorize the factors, how the clotting cascade, how does it work? You know, I don't know why, like I was thinking like it was gonna be very, very complex. Maybe because they were saying like third semester was like by far the worst semester in regards to like knowledge, in the sense like everything has to click and you need to learn everything. So I was like kind of like panicking. It was the first exam. So every time like the first exam is always like a trial or error. You know, it's kind of like you don't know how the tests are gonna be. And then when the test came, it was like nothing how I studied it. You know, I studied it like really, really deeply that I just forgot like basic, simple nursing care about it. Reactions about like blood product reactions, you know, when we're infusing blood, things about plasma. You know, there were like a lot of things that I was like, really, like these are the questions, you know, like I was like pushing myself into really understanding like the whole concept of hematology that I just forgot like the basic things. Then I was like really disappointed. But when they came to the cardiac lecture, I started like doing a little bit a different type of thing. So I stopped using my Anki flashcard, and then I just started paying attention to the lecture and not write anything down from the lecture slides, because I was like, I can write that in my own. So I would just write things that the professor would emphasize in class. So everything that you see here, obviously it's not a lot, but it's only like the things that the professor would like emphasize. So those were the things that I would write. So whenever I'm looking at the YouTube videos, then I can be like, okay, so she was talking a lot about this type of concept, so I need to get, you know, really, really learn that. And then here we have a study guide, I guess, that I found somewhere, cardiac arrhythmia, but then this was completely useless because we didn't really go over arrhythmias. So I kind of like learned all of this in a sense, which I really didn't need to. This was like more like fourth semester now when I started reviewing it, when I was studying for my cardiac exam in fourth semester. But yeah, so overall, same technique, you know, just doing my YouTube videos, my questions, and that was pretty much it. And I was able to improve way more. And then towards the final, I did the same first, second, and third. You know, just write everything that I would remember here, and just write anything and write that I just forgot, and go from there. You know, yeah, and that's how it went. Yeah, this looks like a more type of, yeah, study guide, because there was like a lot of chapters. You know, it was cardiac, then it was cardiac, and then hematology, and then it was neuro. Oh, I hated neuro. There's a lot of stuff for neuro, and then GI. Yeah, I remember GI. GI, I think that was like the best exam I did. And then nephro. But nephro, I didn't really have to do a lot for nephro because I was like, I don't need to do anything. Like, I feel so confident in nephro. Like, nephro and cardiac were by far my best chapters. Like, I love nephrology and I love cardiology. The concept of everything like that is like, I get so into it. I don't know why. Like, I hate the respiratory. I hate gastrointestinal, even though I did quite better on it than my nephrology. But yeah, like when I was doing my nephro, I would just write down a lot of stuff because there were a lot of things that I couldn't remember. Like, I knew I was gonna forget. So yeah, I started doing that. What is that? Oh, that was like a video. That was sketchy. In the middle of lecture. I think I was in a break. But yeah, so this is how my nephrology notes were. So then I started doing like a mind map in a sense, going, okay, oh, just right here, a little bit of the details, and then put it like in a bubble and then do a different thing. And whenever I'm reviewing, I can just zoom it in and go from there. So yeah, this is how it went in third semester. And then in fourth, it's just like straight off, like just practice questions, videos, practice questions, practice questions, practice questions. And again, like I showed you, now I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and I'm gonna show you my screen from here, from my computer. Now, I think it's like this. So I'm gonna record. Now it should be recording. Okay, so this is ATI, and ATI, I've been using it by far in fourth semester, and it's one thing I would have liked to use maybe in first, because in first I was all over the place. I was very anxious in first, and like my studying was working, but it felt like any time it could just like break because it felt like very superficial. But now looking here in my screen, now here's ATI, and you can have like, you're probably gonna have to buy ATI, like yes or yes. And if you don't have it, then lucky you, because it's like $1,200 or something like that, but we had to buy it 100%. So here you put like new custom quiz, and as you can see here, like I've been doing a lot of them, and there's like way more here. I've been doing on my own, and then also like off the class, because my own in the sense like towards the end of fourth semester we have to take like an ATI exam of like different subjects. So I've been doing like questions on my own on those subjects in order to kind of like prepare myself. But if we try and go for the class, you know, here I've always put study, and then here you have like all unanswered, and here you can clear, so you can just put like the ones that you want to do. So fundamentals, if you're first semester, you probably just want to go for fundamentals. Yeah, 403 practice questions, which are a lot. And then yeah, so you're pretty much here, you can put 10, 25, or just custom it. So if you want to do 50, because your exams are 50, then go ahead on time so you don't feel pressure. And yeah, and then just click start quiz, and then now you're gonna see those questions. And then you can just put whatever answer you have, and if you really don't know it, just put show explanation. It's gonna show you that C, and you can see here the rationale, and again the rationale of why the other ones are not it. And then also it's cool, like you can see the percentage of people that were right and then wrong. So if you get it, if I would have chose B, I wouldn't feel bad 100%, because you know, a lot of people chose B. It was the second one like that they would pick. And then if I would have picked D, I would have been like, okay, like I'm really mental. But yeah, so you're able to kind of like see how well you're doing, and then towards the end you're gonna have a percentage to see how well you did. And yeah, this has been helping me a lot in fourth semester. So just doing a lot of ATI questions. The practice questions our professor would put, course point here and there, watching the videos of simple nursing, registered nurse, RN. And yeah, you know, and in lectures, I would sometimes, where's semesters 3? Here it is, semesters 3. So yeah, in first lecture, we didn't really talk a lot about the stuff about respiratory, but let's go with, so here the ATI respiratory was like what the textbook would say of ATI, and the ATI textbook is very different. So the ATI textbook is this one. This one came in, when you purchase the ATI, the 1200s, they also give you like 12 books of ATI. And there's also fundamentals one that's like kind of like tiny, it's kind of like this, I guess, this out of all this. And that one will pretty much summarize the chapter, and like, you know, the chapter's like 40 pages long. It's probably gonna summarize it like in 6 or 8. I know, I think 6 is way too much, like probably like 5 or 4. And it's also gonna have like 5 practice questions regarding the chapter you just read. So that for me, I never did that in first, and that's also another thing I regret. So yeah, definitely if you have the ATI, like the fundamentals textbook, like definitely go for that and just read that, because like 4 or 5 pages, like it's okay, you know, it's not that bad. But the textbook itself, it's like 50 pages, 40 pages, and it goes into so much detail. Like ATI is really the response of the problems that I have with textbooks. Textbooks can be like this long, yeah, like this long, but you only need to learn this much. Like this, I have trouble like lifting this because, you know, look, there's so many pages. And this one, it's like, even the material is lighter, true, but you know, it's not a lot of pages. It's like 500, it's like 600 pages, this. And this goes in 4 or 6 pages, it goes over the chapters that this covers in 40 pages. And the writing here, it's like, it's super simple to read. Let me just show you one that I was doing of cardiac, I guess this. So in the textbook, like they would go like hardcore about the things that you would have to know, and everything looks important. And here it's like straight to the point and summarize, and it's like, okay, yeah, like this is what I need. This is literally what I need. So I would like highlight here and there to like, I remember the levels and like the names at least of the labs that I need to look for, and that's it. You know, so whenever I was done with this, and that book, it's also here in electronics. So when I put like ATI respiratory, it's because there are things that I saw in the ATI respiratory that I just wanted to write here. I have a tendency to like remember more when I'm writing than when I'm typing, so that's why my notes tend to be more handwritten than like actual typing stuff. So yeah, like this textbook, like screw it, I don't like it. But the ATI was definitely good. So if you're first semester, definitely go for that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it of how my studying has been evolving. Obviously, you do need to have a lot of time to space everything. You know, if you're doing your ATI, if you're first semester, you're doing your ATI fundamentals, I would really highly, if I had like a little brother or something, and I knew he was in first semester now, I'll be like, honestly, you do you. Like, I don't want to influence in your exam grades or everything. I'm just telling you what I did. So whatever you do, like, don't involve me like, oh, well, told me to do this. But if I could like show something to my little brother, it would be the following. Your textbook is cool and it's nice, but it's really gonna drive you crazy. You're always gonna feel with self-doubt because you're gonna look at so much information of things that you need, that you feel you need to know, but in reality it's not that much that you need to know. So your ATI fundamentals book will be your best friend for that. And then like this is gonna be like 20% of your study, and then 60% of your study is gonna be watching the YouTube videos of Simple Nursing, registerednursern.com, and many more YouTube channels out there that are fantastic professors in teaching you the concept. And then your other 20 or 30, 40% is gonna be doing the practice questions that come in those YouTube channel videos, your course point questions, your ATI questions, and then just like regular internet questions that you just find. Those are going to be your crucial things. But just relying on the textbook, for me, it was horrible and it was really boring because, yeah, like I know, I understand the stigma, like, oh my god, nurses are so intelligent because they were able to memorize all of this in a semester. Well, not in a year and a half, because in fundamentals we never used this textbook. It was more second, third, and fourth. So it's like, oh yeah, like, you know, in a year and a half they learned all of this. In reality, it's like, no, we learn very specific things here, and we need a reference. And yeah, we can look in the book, but we can also look online. You know, the textbook is not the only place with the answers. You know, they got this information from somewhere, and all the information, you have it here, and you also have like ebook of this. So you need to be carrying this like 10-pound thing with you every single day and hurt your back and stuff. You know, you can just have it here in your iPad, in your computer, and just go through it. You can still highlight it and everything. So that would be like the things that I would say if I had like a little brother and he was like in first semester, like, okay, like it's probably not gonna work. You do you first, see if it works, and if it not, then these are the things that I did and the little change that I would do. So I know this video was kind of long, but it was kind of like a overall things of what I went over. And yeah, let's see if it helps you. So yeah, if you guys stood here till the end of this video, thank you so much guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.